Put your hands together for the Gransden Quartet during the music of Tony Bennett. How we doing? We got a fog machine going or something? I can barely see out there. Say hi to my band for me, please. Dr. Jeff, Mr. Neil, and Ken Johnson. Hey, just in time. I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, the losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed, no place to go. But now you're here, and I know where I'm going. No more doubt or fear, but I found my way. For love came just in time. You found me just in time. And you changed my lonely life and lovely day. Just in time, you found me just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. Well, I was lost, the losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed, no place to go. But now, you're here, know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear, but I found my way. For love came just in time. You found me just in time. You changed my lonely life that lovely day. My friend Jeff on the piano. How you like that, folks? That's our bass man, Neil Starkey. Well, now you're here, and I know where I'm going. No more doubt or fear, when I found my way. For love came just in time. You found me just in time. You changed my lonely life. You changed my lonely life. You changed my lonely life that lovely day. Well, baby, someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you. Yeah, that's right. I like that. Don't you know you're lovely? With your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft, there is nothing for me but to love you. Come on. Just the way you look tonight. Now with every word your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. In that laugh that wrinkles your nose, touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, don't you ever change. Keep that breathless charm, won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you. Just the way you look tonight. How we doing, Velvet Note? Are you in a good mood tonight? Can you say hi to Benjamin Johnson on the drums? Neil Starkey on the bass. And Dr. Jeff Hayden on the piano. We are celebrating the life and music of Tony Bennett. Are you Tony? I hope you're Tony Bennett fans. Are you Tony Bennett fans? Tony Bennett was born in 1926. Neil was 11. That's not nice. Right off the bat, I gotta do that. That's not nice. Because I did that, I gotta tell you, he's the best bass player in the world, and you should give it up for Neil Starkey again. And Tony Bennett's stage name was Joe Barry. And his real name, anybody know his real name? Anthony Dominic DiBenedetto, right? And he went on the road with Bob Hope, and Bob Hope said, man, that's too long to fit on the marquee because my name's gotta be up there too. So Bob Hope's the one that gave him the name Tony Bennett. And Tony Bennett, when I grew up in New York, it was on the house stereo system constantly. Tony Bennett, Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, all the great American songbook singers. So I fell in love with that music at an early age. And for years now in Atlanta and around the country, we've been fortunate enough to do our Sinatra type show. But this is the first time we're trying to kind of tackle some of the Tony Bennett songs. And some of them are very, very difficult. Tony had a very powerful, very high voice, right? And he could sing all the way up until the end of his career. He's got this really powerful voice. And it's tough for me because I do a lot of cocaine. And it goes right in the nasal. No, I'm kidding. I don't do any of that. Thank you to my drummer. I don't do any of that, I promise you. But we are going to kind of take a little trip down memory lane and do some of his earlier songs first. This is one of the first hits he ever had, and it's Columbia Records. It was Percy Faith, I think, and his orchestra, and I think it was 1953, I think this was. But you'll recognize this if you ever saw the movie Goodfellas. Did you ever see the movie Goodfellas? All right, give it up for Tony Bennett. We'll swing a little bit for you. I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. Although my pockets may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn and tattered, but in my heart I'd be a king. Your love is all that ever matters. It's everything. So open your arms and you'll open the door to all the treasures that I'm hoping for. Hold me and squeeze me, say that you're mine evermore. Must I forever be a beggar whose lonely dreams will not come true? Or will I go from rags to riches? My fate is up to you. Come on, Jeff. chance. So open your arms and you open the door to all the treasures that I'm hoping for. Hold me and kiss me, say that you're mine evermore. Must I forever be a beggar whose lonely dream will not come true? Or will I go from rags to riches? My fate is all to you. You remember that one, right? This next song, I think let's do this 2 times through, okay? We're not gonna, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Tony Bennett loved this song so much that he named his daughter after this song. Today was just another day. Tomorrow is a guess. But yesterday, what I'd give for yesterday, to relive one yesterday and its happiness. When Joanna loved me, every town was Paris, every day was Sunday. Every month was May. When Joanna loved me, every sound was music, music made of laughter, laughter that was bright and gay. But when Joanna left me, May became December. Even in December, I remember her warmth, her smile. For a little while she loved me. Once again, it's Paris, Paris on a Sunday, and the month is May. When Joanna left me, May became December. Even in December, I remember her warmth and her smile, and for a little while she loves me. Once again, it's Paris, Paris on a Sunday, and the morning is May. Isn't that a beautiful song? Did any of you hear that song before? Do you know that song? A few of you? Yeah, it's not very well known, but what a gorgeous, gorgeous song. And I think the band did a wonderful job playing that. Give it up to these guys. Tony Bennett loved Johnny Mercer, and they were good friends, and he recorded a lot of Johnny Mercer songs. And an interesting thing happened at one point in Johnny's career. Johnny was already a big star, and he got this telegram. And the telegram was the first 4 measures of a song. And this woman, Sadie Vimestedt, I believe was her name, sent this telegram as a fan letter to Johnny Mercer. And she said, I wrote these four lines to this song, and it sounds like something you would write, Johnny Mercer. And the line was, I want to be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks my heart. And so Johnny Mercer got such a kick out of it, he decided to finish the song. And he wrote the rest of that beautiful song that y'all know called I Want to Be Around. And he gave Sadie Vimestedt 50% royalties on it. And he got Tony Bennett to record it. And to this day, her family still get royalty checks, thousands and thousands of dollars from. And Tony Bennett, when he was alive, in an interview, I saw him say that she had told him that he would still get postcards from around the world from Sadie Vimestedt's family thanking him for recording it, and also to Johnny Mercer thanking him for giving the 50% royalties. So I think it's a great song, and Tony had a big hit on this in 1956, I believe. This is called I Want to Be Around. You want to hear this one?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Check out these lyrics. Hey, I want to be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart. Somebody twice as smart as I. Somebody who will swear to be true like you used to do with me. Who's gonna leave you to learn that misery loves company? Wait and see. I wanna be around, see how it does it when he breaks your heart to bits. Let's see if the puzzle fits so fine. That's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet, as I sit there applauding from a front row seat. Somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. Come on, swing. I want to be around to see how it does it when it breaks your heart to bits. Let's see if the puzzle fits so fine. That's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet, as I sit there applauding from a front row seat. When somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. Somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. Pretty good one, right? I always love this next song. This was one of my mother's favorite songs when I was growing up. She would sing this song around the house, and it turns out that Tony had a big hit on this one too. You know, he had a lot of hits. And by the way, he recorded 1,473 songs. And we're doing them all tonight, so if you haven't been to the restroom yet. This is written by Leslie Brickus and Anthony Newley, wonderful songwriting team, and it's called Who Can I Turn To? And like I said, it was one of my mom's favorites, and we're going to do it a little different than Tony did it. We're going to do it as a really cool, hip bossa nova, and I'm going to play this instrument on it. What's this called? This is the flugelhorn, and this was made famous by who? Who said Chuck Mangione? Nobody ever gets that right. You remember this? That's Chuck Mangione, and you're right. He made this instrument famous in the 1970s. It was used quite often before then in the big band era. Clark Terry played this all the time. Yeah, you saw him play it? Live, you saw him play it? It was incredible, right? Clark was probably the best flugelhorn player ever to live, but Chuck Mangione had worldwide success as a smooth jazz kind of instrumentalist, and boy, he could play that thing too. So we hope you enjoy this. Who can I turn to when nobody needs me? My heart wants to know, so I must go where destiny leads me. With no star to guide me, no one beside me, I'll go on my way after the day. Darkness will hide me. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I'm after. Throw off my sorrow, I'll beg, steal and borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to when you turn away? And maybe tomorrow I'll find just what I'm after. Throw off my sorrow, I'll beg, steal, and borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to when you turn away? Who can I turn to when you turn away? Thank you very much. That's a beautiful song, right? Tony had this hit. We're going to jump ahead to the 80s for a minute. Tony had this big hit on a Fred Astaire classic called Steppin' Out With My Baby. You remember that? I think he was on MTV Unplugged, and he really loved his band. He had a wonderful band at the time, and he would give a lot of solo space on this song to the drummer. Well, we have one of the best drummers on the planet. Can you say hi to Benjamin Johnson? Come on, you can do better than that. That's Benjamin Johnson. And our bass man came up with this really cool bass line for this song. This is Neil Starkey. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to... Go ahead, it's all right. You can give it up for Neil again. They love you, Neil. They love you. So I think what we'll do, I'm going to sing this song, but then we're going to really let these guys cook a little bit, okay? We got Benjamin Johnson, Neil Starkey, Dr. Jeff Hayden, Stepping Out With My Baby. Hey, can you help me out? One, two, three. Keep that going. Come on, man. Stepping out with my baby. Can't go wrong 'cause I'm the right. It's for sure, not for maybe, that I'm all dressed up tonight. Stepping out with my honey. Can't be bad 'cause I feel so good. Never felt quite so sunny. And I keep on knocking wood. There'll be smooth sailing 'cause I'm trimming myself. With my top hat and my white tie and my tail. Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, I feel so right. Ask me when will that day be, the big day may be tonight. Let's trade some fours, all right? Neil Starkey, folks. There'll be smooth sailing, cause I'm trimming my sails. With my top hat and my white tie and my tail. Stepping out with my baby, can't be wrong, I feel so right. Ask me when that magic baby might be tonight. Neil Starkey, ladies and gentlemen. Benjamin Johnson. We got a treat for you now. This is one of his first hits ever. This is 1951, I believe, and this is called Because of You. And Tony Bennett had a wonderful friendship with a great trumpet player, a cornet player from back in the day named Bobby Hackett. You remember that name by chance? Bobby Hackett was the most gorgeous trumpet player, cornet player really, and he played the most beautiful melodies. And Jackie Gleason loved him, and Jackie Gleason had his own orchestra, and he recorded wonderful, wonderful love songs, and Bobby Hackett was the soloist. Tony Bennett fell in love with Bobby Hackett's trumpet playing and used him on all his recordings, most of his recordings. Sinatra loved Bobby Hackett. He just played with everybody, and the other day I had the pleasure of hanging out with Bobby Hackett's son, Ernie Hackett, and Ernie's in his late 70s and lives in Canton, Georgia. And he had me up to his house, and he was telling me all these wonderful stories about his father, Bobby Hackett. And Bobby passed away in 1976, I believe. He was young, he was 61 years old, but there's so many beautiful recordings. Louis Armstrong loved Bobby Hackett. Louis Armstrong used to say, Ernie told me this, Louis would say that, I'm the coffee, Bobby's the cream. Because Louis played nice and boisterous and in the upper register, and Bobby played very pleasantly and chill. So Ernie has his father's cornet, Bobby Hackett's famous cornet. So this song, Because of You, I'm going to sing the Tony Bennett part, but then I'm also going to play this vintage 1940 cornet and try to sound a little like Bobby Hackett. Would you like that? I got to get this thing out, man. Let me see. Does anybody know this song? Who knows this song? All right, so this is a cornet, 1940. And cornet is like a trumpet. It's in the same key, but in the traditional jazz bands, long before the bebop era, long before Miles Davis and Dizzy Gillespie and all those wonderful trumpet players, in the old bands, the guys played the cornet. The guys and gals would play the cornet. And John Philip Sousa, the marching bands, and then King Oliver and all those wonderful traditional jazz musicians from New Orleans, they would play the cornet. So I'll play a note for you. It sounds like a trumpet, but it's got a more covered, pretty sound. Bobby Hackett had perfect pitch. He could write an entire big band chart in the car without a piano. He just knew what every instrument was supposed to do in the range, and he played the most beautiful solos because he could hear what he was going to play right before he played it. So here's Tony Bennett's first hit, Because of You. Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon and stars will say you're mine. and never to find. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. So Bobby was really established in that traditional jazz scene. So let's look. Can we do a little Bobby Hackett for you?
You like New Orleans music? Yeah. Oh yeah. 3 people? You like New Orleans music?
Neil Starkey, Dr. Jeff Hayden, and the cornet. So, if you haven't had a chance, when you go home tonight or one of these days, check out Bobby Hackett. You will love him. And one of the most famous Tony Bennett, Bobby Hackett collaborations is on the song called The Very Thought of You. And it's an old version, and Bobby just plays so beautiful. I want to do something now for you that really means a lot to me. When I was growing up as a kid, I told you that we heard this music all the time in the house. My family's from New York City. My family's from Italy. My mother's side is from Italy. They settled in New York. There was 11 brothers and sisters, my grandmother and her brothers and sisters. Some of them were on Broadway. Some of them were contractors in New York City that would contract music venues and music gigs. My Uncle Eddie was a great singer. My Uncle Rudy was the first guy to play Bernardo, West Side Story, just right off Broadway. So I grew up listening to these people all the time. But my Aunt Rose probably had more talent than all of them. And she didn't do anything professional with regards to music. I think she worked down in Little Italy in the sewing, like in the factories and the sewing machines and all that. And she had her husband, my Uncle Johnny, and she had perfect pitch. And she could sit it down at the piano and she could play any song, and she could sing with this big, beautiful voice. And she would sing old songs like Granada, right? And we would always go hang out with her, and she would make us all kinds of Italian food. And this is the song that she would sing all the time, and it happens to be a Tony Bennett hit, and I think it's a beautiful song. So I'm going to try to channel my Aunt Rose, who's gone now, but she lived to be 103 years old. That's fantastic. Now I'm going to sing this. I'm probably going to get a little emotional because I'm going to remember my aunt, but this is what she would do. You sigh, the song begins, you speak, and I hear violins. It's magic. The stars desert the skies and rush to nestle in your eyes. It's magic. Without a golden wine or mystic charm, fantastic things begin when I am in your arms. it's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. That's for my Aunt Rose. We have a few more songs for you. Now, first of all, this next song called "The Good Life." You know this song, right? Yeah. "The Good Life" was originally written. It was a hit in France, and they changed the lyrics to make them English lyrics, and the song was given to Tony Bennett. Now we're getting into the '60s now, and he had yet another wonderful hit on this. He had so many hits in the late '50s and early '60s, and then it kind of dried up for him. And the '70s were a tough time for Tony Bennett. He got dropped from Columbia Records, and he didn't have a record deal. He got rid of his manager, he hired a new manager, and he just kept hitting brick walls. They were trying to reestablish Tony Bennett. He even tried to do the songs of the day of the '70s. He had a couple records out where he sang like rock and roll songs and Beatles songs, and they were just, unfortunately, they were flops. I'm sure he sounded great on them, but they just didn't sell, and he just couldn't get it together. And it wasn't until the early 1980s when his son became his manager and said, "Dad, you don't really have to change. Everybody loves you for who you are. You don't have to get with the times, or just sing the Great American Song with the way you sing it, and it's going to work." And it worked, man. And he just blew up, and I think he won 20 Grammy Awards throughout his career, and most of them were kind of after all that happened. And you know, I mean, I've only won 11, so I don't even know what it'd be like to get 20 Grammy Awards. But this was a hit that, and we love to do this with my big band. I have a 17-piece big band here in Atlanta. And we're going to go up to Lincoln Center in New York City, July 15th, and we're going to perform. And we're going to do this song for sure in honor of Tony Bennett. We hope you like this. Well, the good life, full of fun, seems to be the ideal. Yes, the good life lets you hide all the sadness you feel. You won't really fall in love, for you can't take a chance. So be honest with yourself. Don't try to fake romance. Well, the good life, to be free and explore the unknown. Just like the heartache, when you learn you must face them alone. Please remember, I still love you. And in case you wonder why, well, just wake up and kiss the good life goodbye. Well, good life. Dr. Jeff Hayden. It's the good life to be free and explore the unknown. Just like a heartache, when you learn, you must face them alone. Please remember, I still want you, and in case you wonder why, just wake up, kiss that good life, just wake up, kiss that good life, wake up, kiss that good life goodbye. How about that? Now, if you've seen thank you very much, thank you. The band sounds great, don't they? I'm a lucky dude tonight, man. We're going on the road this coming week. We're going to 3 or 4 different places in South Carolina, North Carolina. Not really to play music. I have a job cutting lawns too on the side. No, we're going to play at some performing arts centers out there. This is the first time, the very first time that we've ever kind of performed this show. We just kind of started putting it together, so it's going to go through some changes as time goes on. But we hope we're entertaining you, and we hope you're enjoying it so far. When you look into the Tony Bennett Library, or the Sinatra Library, or the Nat Cole Library, or the Ella Library, there's thousands of songs, right? So you got to pick as many as you can that people recognize and love. And of course, one of them is San Francisco. We're going to do that for you, I promise. But you also want to find things that are kind of unique to that artist. And this next thing is a song that Sinatra kind of made famous, but Tony Bennett had a hit on it too. And I saw Tony do this live, and some of you that have been to our Sinatra show have heard me say this, but for the folks that haven't, I saw him do this song live, and he was talking to the crowd, and he was explaining that when he was growing up, he was born in 26, right? And he started singing at like 9 years old. There was no monitors, and there was no microphones, and there was no in-ear monitors, and there wasn't speakers really. You had to learn how to sing and project your voice. You had to breathe a certain way. It's called bel canto operatic style. I don't know too much about it, but you breathe in a certain way, so you fill up your lungs, you fill up your back, and you could really project. And Tony Bennett and some of the great singers would pretend, and some of the trumpet players from back in the day, Harry James would do this. They would pretend that there's a candle in the back of the room, and when they were singing or playing, they would try to blow out that candle, and that's how they would get their sound to go out. So in Atlanta Symphony Hall, right before COVID hit, I guess Tony was 91, he came in and did an hour and a half. Were you there? Yeah. Incredible, right? Wasn't that a great show? And at one point, he explained all this to the audience, and he had them turn off the sound system. And at 91, he sang a song a cappella without any microphones, and he filled up the entire Atlanta Symphony Hall, and it brought chills to everybody in the room. And I was in the front row with my wife, and I told her, I'm going to learn how to do that. And she said, no, you're not. And then COVID hit, and I sat home for like 2 years, so I just practiced. So can I try it for you? This is what Tony did on stage. This is the song, and I'll do my best.
All right, so the first time I tried this, crowd. My dad was in the audience, and I sang the first note, and he yelled out, "Can't hear you." I'm gonna move this out of the way. Yeah, I'll come over here. Can I get that A minor? No, no cheap. All right. I get nervous. Fly me to the moon. And that's all I know that song. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. I love that that gets a laugh. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship. All right, check it out. And please be true. In other words, I love you.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among those stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Now you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, won't you please be true? In other words, I love you. Check out my band now. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Because you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, in other words, I love you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Benjamin Johnson, Neil Starkey, Dr. Jeff Hayden. This is fun, man. It's really fun paying tribute to Tony Bennett, man. What a class act. What a great, great, great voice. In the late 1950s, a couple songwriters ran into Tony Bennett and his piano player after a show, and Tony had gone back to the hotel, and they gave a couple songs that they had written to the piano player, Ralph Sharon, and Ralph didn't really pay much attention to him. Took him home, put him in his top drawer, and it was about 4 years later, Tony was going to appear at the Fairmont San Francisco. And Ralph Sharon was packing, and he opened up the drawers and took his shirts out, and at the bottom was one of these songs called I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And he said, hey, that might work good. And he got it, and at rehearsal he said to Tony, try this song out. These guys gave this to me 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I just forgot about it. Tony sang it at rehearsal and liked it and did it, and it became his biggest hit, right? This was 1962 when he did it at the Fairmont, and I saw that Tony Bennett interview. You may have seen it too, where he was in the war, right? He fought. He was a soldier, and he says that one of his greatest feelings was that when the guys were leaving San Francisco to go to the Vietnam War, a lot of them left port from San Francisco. In the newspaper, there was a picture of them waving goodbye to their families and all that, and there was a bunch of soldiers, and they were singing "I Left My Heart in San Francisco," and it made Tony cry. It made him very, very, very proud that he had such a big hit. It was such a beautiful song. So if it's okay with you, we'll close up our little show here with that. Would that be good? How about a nice hand for the Velvet Note and Tamara Fuller and all the wonderful people here. And one more time for my great band, please, Dr. Jeff, Neil, and Benjamin Johnson. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me, just to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog will chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there in San Francisco, above the cold and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine on me. This is the great Neil Starkey. Mr. Starkey, my love, she waits there in old San Francisco. You want to sing with me? Above the gold and windy sea. Your golden sun will shine on me. Dr. Jeff Hayden, Neil Starkey, Benjamin Johnson. Johnson. John Rapport.
Gransden live at the Bennett. Give it up, that's the real deal,
Please remember, I still love you. And in case you wonder why, well, just wake up and kiss the good life goodbye.
Oh, yes. 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 Have you had enough? Well, if you want an encore, you know what to do. Let me tell you something.
Oh my goodness, you really want to hear one more? We're just crazy. Hey, by the way, we brought our vinyl record tonight. If you happen to have a vinyl record player at home, pick one up. We got our CDs. We got 8-track. We got cassettes. We don't know what to do with CDs anymore. You bought a CD? You got a CD player? Do you really? Fantastic. You want to buy 7,000 more? Of the same one? They're all in my garage. We'll do something for you. We'll do one chorus of this. This is a beautiful song. This is Michel Legrand and the Bergmans. Marilyn and Alan Bergman wrote the lyrics. Michel Legrand wrote the music. This was a huge hit for Tony Bennett when he came back and had his big comeback. And when he did his duet record, it was Aretha Franklin singing on this. So this is a gorgeous song. We hope you like it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and being here at Atlanta's premier and finest jazz club. Thank you very much. I think you'll recognize it. I hope you do. How do you keep the music playing? How do you make it last? How do you keep a song from fading too fast? How do you lose yourself to someone and never lose your way? How do you not run out of new things to say? And since we know memory is changing, why should it stay the same? And tell me how year after year you're sure your heart will fall apart each time you hear her name. I know the way I feel for you, it's now or never. The more I love, the more that I'm afraid that in your eyes I may not see forever, forever. If we can be the best of lovers and be the best of friends, if we can try day after day to make it better as it grows, with any luck then I suppose the music, the music, the music. Take a bow, gentlemen. Stand up and take a bow.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We loved having you, and we'd love to have you again. You can find all of our upcoming shows at thevelvetnote.com, including Friday the 8th, when superstar Braves organist Matt Kaminsky will be here with his quartet, giving you the inside scoop on what happens in baseball, including all those crazy walk-ups. It's called Tales from Left Field, excuse me, and we look forward to having him, as well as many more shows that you can find at thevelvetnote.com. This is what we love to do, which is to bring you closer to artists who inspire you, closer to each other, and closer to the song that's in your heart. On behalf of JB, Natalia, Sheila, Will, Justin, Trey, and Chef Michael Strollo, come and see us again. Good night. to another sold out night at the Velvet Note! The Velvet Note's a place where you can see and hear world-class musicians in a setting that's as intimate and as comfortable as your very own living room. We give you a chance to get to know the musicians and to hear the music the way that it was meant to be heard. This is the listening room. We had our acoustics designed by a protege of the Hollywood director George Lucas, under his guidance, to be the highest quality, unenhanced sound available today. And we've been here 11 years and 9 months. It takes a team to do this. Y'all think I'm doing it by myself, but I'm not. And part of that team is our board of advisors, who I have empowered to kick me in the behind when I need it. I think everyone should have that person. And we have a member tonight who is celebrating her birthday. Raise your hand, honey, so they know who you are. Dr. Dana Hall! Happy birthday! Thank you. Well, tonight is also special because it's the debut of a very special show. I know a lot of you are already Joe Gransden fans. Any Joe Gransden fans out there? So, he is debuting a new show, which is a long-awaited and much-needed tribute to the great Tony Bennett. And tonight is that. And putting together Joe Gransden and Tony Bennett is a dream. So I'm going to get out of the way and let the music wash over you. What an incredible band he has tonight. And we have great food, great spirits, great service, and a warm mixed berry cobbler that the chef just pulled out of the oven. It's still steaming hot, and he's serving it with old-fashioned vanilla ice cream. And I had some too. You ready? Yeah. Put your hands together for the Joe Gransden Quartet!
Doing all right? All right, here we go. How you like my band? It sound good? Just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, the losing dice were tossed. My bridges all were crossed, no place to go. Now you're here, I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear, but I found my way. For love came just in time, you found me just in time. And you changed my lonely life and lonely days. Just in time, found it just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. Baby, I was lost, the losing dice were tossed. All my bridges were crossed, no place to go. Now you're here, I know just where I'm going. No more doubt or fear, and I found my way. All of me just in time, you found me just in time. Changed my lonely life, oh, changed my lonely life. Changed my lonely life that every day. How you like that, folks? Swinging? Now someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is calm, I will feel a glow just thinking of you. That's so much better than that first show. Remember that first show? People were like, what the hell are you pointing at me for? I paid. I'm not singing. Yes, you're lovely, with your smile so warm, and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you. Just the way you look tonight. This is the Great American Songbook. You can sing if you like. Now with every word, your tenderness grows. Oh yes it does. Tearing my fears apart with that laugh that can wrinkle your nose, touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, don't you ever change. Keep that breathless charm, won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you just the way you look tonight. How about that? You like the way that sounds? Welcome to the Velvet Note. How you feeling tonight? We are celebrating Tony Bennett. You like Tony Bennett? Are you Tony Bennett fans? Tony Bennett, his real name is what? Anthony Dominic Benedetto Gransden. Now that last part. That's his real name. Anthony Dominic Benedetto. Dominic Benedetto, yeah, but his stage name was Joe Barry, and he went out on the road with Bob Hope, and Bob said, I don't like that name, Joe Barry. What's your real name? And he said, hey, Anthony Dominic Benedetto. He said, no, that's too big for the marquee. I gotta have my name up there too. We'll call you Tony Bennett. And that's how that happened. That's it, man. And he became Tony Bennett, and he was born in 1926. Neil was there. Neil was 11. That's not nice. Did I? This is Neil Starkey, the greatest bass player on the film. So Tony was born in 1926, and really by 9 or 10 years old, he was already a wonderful singer, and he had a very, very early career. He started very, very young, and God, he's been around forever, and we just lost him a year and a half ago, whatever it was, but he's left us 75, 76, 77 years of recordings to enjoy, right? And he recorded over 1,000 songs. And tonight, we're doing all of them. So if you have to go to the restroom. So we're going to take out a little history of Tony Bennett and have some fun. Does that sound good? This is the second time we're doing this show. We did it once about an hour and a half ago, and we just wrote it recently, and we're going to tweak it as we go along. We're going on the road this week to a couple performing arts centers, so you kind of are our guinea pigs. We appreciate you coming out and checking out the early stages of this. We hope you enjoy it. This is Ben Jammin' Johnson on the drums, Neil Starkey on the bass, and Dr. Jeff Hayden on the piano. I know I go from rags to riches. If you would only say you care. Although my pockets may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn and tattered, but in my heart I'd be a king. Your love is all that ever mattered. It's everything. So open your arms and you'll open the door to all the treasures that I'm hoping for. Hold me and kiss me, say that you're mine evermore. Must I forever be a beggar whose lonely dream will not come true? Or will I go from rags to riches? My fate is up to you. Come on, Doc. That's swinging, right? So open your arms and you open the door to all the treasures that I'm hoping for. Hold me and kiss me, say that you're mine evermore. Must I forever be a beggar whose golden dream may not come true? Or will I go from rags to riches? My fate is up to you. That was one of Tony's first hits, 1953 with Percy Faith and his orchestra for Columbia Records. We're going to move down the line a little bit. This is a little bit later in his career. This was one of his favorite songs. He loved this song so much that he named his daughter after this song. We hope you like this. And by the way, I did say that we just wrote this show, so I got to give you guys some direction. Twice through, we're going to do this song, okay? You didn't hear any of that. Today was just another day. Tomorrow is a guess. But yesterday, what I'd give for yesterday, to relive on yesterday and its happiness. When Joanna loved me, every town was Paris, every day was Sunday, every month was May. When Joanna loved me, every sound was music. December that was bright and gay, but when Joanna left me, May became December. Even in December, I remember her warmth, her smile. For a little while, she loves me. And once again, it's Paris. Paris on a Sunday. And the month is May. But when she left me, May became December. Even in December, I remember her warmth, her smile. For a little while, she loves me. Once again, Paris on a Sunday. In the month is May. Isn't that a beautiful song? Tony Bennett loved Johnny Mercer. Are you Johnny Mercer fans? Yeah. One of the greatest songwriters, lyricists to ever live, right? And he wrote a lot of songs for Tony Bennett to sing and Frank Sinatra to sing and all the greats, Ella Fitzgerald. Well, a really cute story about a Tony Bennett hit that came in 1961, I believe. This is a song called I Want to Be Around. And Johnny Mercer was going through some of his fan mail, and he got a letter from a woman named Sadie Vimestad, I believe was her name. And she said, Johnny, I love your music. I'm a songwriter, kind of, and I wrote an opening line to a song. It sounds like something you would write, so I thought I'd send it to you for fun. And it says, I want to be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart. And Johnny Mercer got such a kick out of it, he decided to finish the song. And he wrote the rest of the song, but he gave Sadie and her family royalties, 50% royalties forever. And Tony Bennett tells the story of that. Even up until recently when we lost Tony, he would tell the story of how her family and her grandchildren would still send postcards to Tony Bennett from around the world from the royalties. They would take trips all over the place. They had homes everywhere just from 50% of that one song. Yes, isn't that cool? And I make $8,500 a year. Yeah. Write a good song then, right, Joe? Exactly. So we're going to do this one for you. This was a big hit for Tony Bennett. I love it. I love the story it tells. Check it out.
2, 1, 2, go.
Check out these lyrics. I want to be around to pick up the pieces when somebody breaks your heart. Somebody twice as smart as I. Somebody who would swear to be true like you used to do to me. who will leave you to learn that misery loves company. Wait and see. I mean, I want to be around to see how he does it when he breaks your heart to bits. Let's see if the puzzle fits so fine. That's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet, as I sit there applauding from a front row seat. When somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine, well, 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 Dr. Jeff Hayden. I want to be around to see how he does it when he breaks your heart to bits. Let's see if the puzzle fits so fine. That's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet, as I sit there applaud from a front row seat. Somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. Oh, when somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine. Woo. That's a nice one, right? Johnny Mercer. Johnny Mercer. Hey, who knows what this is called? Right away. Who said that? Flugelhorn, you must play. You play?
Not as good as you, but I did.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I played this before in some of my other shows, right? You been to my other shows? You're the guy. This was made famous by who?
Well, I would say Chuck Mangione.
I would say Chuck Mangione too. Clark Terry, probably the finest flugelhorn player. A lot of guys played flugelhorn, a lot of gals played flugelhorn, but Chuck Mangione was famous all over the world as a smooth jazz. Would you call that smooth jazz? What would you call that? Chuck Mangione's style of music back in the 70s and 80s, right? Crossover jazz. So he reached a lot of people, and he made this thing famous. And for those that don't know Chuck Mangione, you remember this song? He's the one that does all the punchlines to the jokes, too.
Oh, how's that go? How does that one go? Don't call me. Oh, man. I was thinking of...
You remember that one, right? That's Chuck Mangione. He also wrote the theme to the Olympics. And the Cannonball Run. Remember that movie? He wrote so many beautiful melodies and made this thing famous. This is the horn that a friend of mine gave to me that sat in the front row at my big band gigs for years and years and years at Cafe 290. And he said, I want you to have this horn. I don't play it anymore, and I want you to have it. He used to play, and he was in his 90s when he gave it to me, and this horn was built in 1930. And he said to me, you can play it, just while I'm alive, don't sell it. So I wouldn't do that, but as soon as he's gone, if anybody needs a flugelhorn. So here's a Tony Bennett classic. This happens to be my mother's favorite song, and I'm going to sing it and then play a little bit of the flugelhorn for you. It's called Who Can I Turn To, written by Leslie Bricusse and Anthony Milley. We're going to do a little different than Tony. We're going to do a bossa nova on this.
1, 2, 3.
Who can I turn to when nobody needs me? My heart wants to know must go where destiny leads me, with no stars to guide me and no one beside me. I'll go on my way after the day the darkness will hide me. Maybe tomorrow I'll find just what I'm after. I'll throw off my sorrow, beg, steal, or borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to when you turn away? How about it for Neil? Maybe tomorrow I can find just what I'm after. Throw off my sorrow, beg, steal, and borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to when you turn away? Who can I turn to when you turn away? Thank you very much. Thank you. How do you like Neil Starkey on that bass solo? We're doing this next song kind of to feature Neil because he's one of the best, and also our drummer, Ben Jammer Johnson. Give it up for Ben. This is something that Tony did in the 1980s when his career kind of got back on track. His son took over as his manager, and right away they started winning Grammy Awards. He started selling out all over the world because in the 70s he had a rough time. He got dropped by Columbia Records. He had a little bit of a drug habit. He went through a nasty divorce. He was broke. He was in debt. And the 70s were very tough for Tony Bennett. In fact, I'll tell you more about this later because I got a little surprise for you. But in the 80s, he came back on track, and this was a song that he won a Grammy for. It's called Steppin' Out with My Baby. And you probably remember that from the MTV Unplugged thing that he did. Well, he loved the fact that Fred Astaire dancing could be equated to the brushes on the drums, right? And he would always feature his drummer on this song. And I said, man, we got to put this in the show because we got one of the best guys on the planet to do it right now. So we hope you enjoy this. We're going to feature Ben. We're going to feature Neil. Stepping Out with My Baby. Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, 'cause I'm in right. It's for sure, not for maybe, that I'm all dressed up tonight. Stepping out with my honey, can't be bad, I'm feeling so good. Never felt quite so sunny, and I keep on knocking wood. There'll be smooth sailing, 'cause I'm trimming myself with my top hat and my white tie and my tail. Stepping out with my baby, can't be wrong, I'm in right. Ask me when will that day be, the big day may be tonight. Ben Johnson. How y'all like Neil Starkey? Hey, there'll be smooth sailing, 'cause I'm trimming myself with my top hat and my white tie and my tail. Yeah, stepping out with my baby, can't be wrong, feels so right. Ask me when will that day be, the big day may be tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Starkey on the bass, Benjamin Johnson on the drums. Tony Bennett had a great love for Louis Armstrong and a great love for trumpet. He loved the trumpet, and he had a very good friend who you may recognize the name, a guy named Bobby Hackett. Remember that name? Bobby Hackett was a trumpet star in the 1950s and 60s and played the cornet, actually, not the trumpet, and played on all those Jackie Gleason recordings. Jackie had a big orchestra, and Bobby played all those solos, and he played for Tony Bennett records, all those big, beautiful solos on cornet. That's Bobby Hackett, and he played on Sinatra records as well. And he was great friends with Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong used to say about Bobby's playing, Louis would say, "I'm the coffee, Bobby's the cream," right? Whose birthday is it? I keep seeing all these things coming out. Maria, it's your birthday? This is a big birthday? Oh, there's a birthday over there too? Whose birthday over there? I can't see with the... Dana and Maria. Come on, let's do happy birthday for everybody, all right? You guys got your candles lit? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dana and Maria. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. We are so glad you chose to be with us tonight. And I'm glad we got to sing that. That was Tony Bennett's biggest hit, Happy Birthday. He did that live at the... Anyway, Bobby Hackett was one of my heroes growing up. When I was a little boy, my grandfather, who's a great trumpet player, gave me a Bobby Hackett record called The Most Beautiful Horn in the World. And it was sitting on my stereo system, my vinyl record player, when I got home from school one day at about 9 or 10 years old. And I remember listening to that and sitting there with my trumpet and trying to sound like Bobby Hackett, trying to pick out the notes he was playing. I couldn't quite do it, but I just fell in love with this record. And I found out recently that Bobby Hackett, his son, who's almost 80 years old, lives in North Georgia. So I reached out to him and I said, "Hey man, I'm kind of putting together this tribute to Tony Bennett, and I know your father and Tony were very close. Can I come hang out with you?" So a couple days ago, I drove up there and I spent 3 or 4 hours with Ernie Hackett, Bobby Hackett's son. And he told me all these incredible stories about Bobby and his relationships with Jackie Gleason and Tony and Frank Sinatra and all the stars, right? And he also had Bobby Hackett's cornet. And I got to play Bobby Hackett's cornet, the actual horn. So this song we're going to do now is called Because of You, which was Tony Bennett's, one of his first hits on Columbia Records. And it was a huge hit for him. It put him on the map. And then I'm going to try and play like Bobby Hackett. And what I have with me is a vintage Bobby Hackett cornet. Check this out. 1941, New York box Stradivarius cornet. Now these things have a different sound than the trumpet. They have they're the same key as the trumpet, but they have more of a darker covered sound. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah. This one's beautiful. Check this out.
We hope you enjoy our version of Because of You.
Maybe I'll.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance got its start. Because of you, the moon and stars will say you're mine forever and ever to part. I only know for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. Do you like it? How about I play something really in the Bobby Hackett vein? Would you like that? He was very, very, very famous in the traditional jazz world. You like New Orleans music? Come on now, you like New Orleans music? hear Jeff play like a New Orleans piano player? Come on. Jeff.
Hey baby, we'll fly down. We can't even drive down. Well, to New Orleans. Don't you know that city had lots of pretty historic scenes? Whoa, yes it does. I'll take you, yes I'll parade you
Right down Bourbon Street. Now we'll see all the hot shots and check out all the big shots. Right there on Bourbon Street. Let me hear some second line drums now. Give it up for Benjamin Johnson, Neil Starkey, and the wonderful New Orleans piano playing and Dr. Jeff Hayden. Are you having fun? How you like our show so far? Is it all right? We're going to be tweaking this thing. We're going on the road this week to play at a few performing arts centers, and you guys are kind of helping us figure out what's working and what's not working, and it's really fun to kind of put these things together. These great artists have thousands of songs, right? And you just got to kind of find the right ones that fit. This next one is something that's very special to me. I grew up in a very musical family in New York City. My mother's side of the family, my mother's name is Rosalie Cuccia, and her family's from Sicily, and they came over here in the early 1900s, and they lived in Little Italy. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, had 11 brothers and sisters, and they all lived in a one-bedroom apartment on Mott Street in Little Italy. And can you imagine that? No heating, no air conditioning. It was just back in the day how it was. But a lot of them became great musical artists. My Uncle Rudy, my grandmother's brother, was on Broadway. He was the original Bernardo in West Side Story. He was in The King and I. He was in South Pacific, and he had a wonderful career. And my Uncle Eddie was a contractor for the Rainbow Room, and a great bass player and a great singer. And he worked his entire career in New York City. They all did wonderful things, but my Aunt Rose is the one I want to tell you about. My Aunt Rose lived to be 103 years old. She never did anything musically professional. You know, she got married and she worked in this. I guess she worked on the sewing machines in the factory like 15 hours a day or whatever. But as she got older, when she retired, I would see her as a little boy, and she would sing constantly, and she could play piano by ear perfectly. Only in the key of C, but it didn't matter. She heard a song, she could play it, and she would sing songs like Granada and The Man I Love, and she had this big operatic. She could have been a star, I'm sure. She would sing like, The Man I Love. You know that song, right? And one song that she would sing all the time, I'd go to visit her and she would sing this all the time. Happens to be a Tony Bennett hit. So I'm excited to do this song for you. It's something that Tony did in the 1960s with a full orchestra, strings and all that, and it's just beautiful. We hope you enjoy it. It's called It's Magic. And I hope I don't get emotional. First said I got emotional, but I think about my aunt all the time. I really loved her, and she left me a lot of money. No, I'm kidding. You sigh, the song begins. You speak, and I hear violins. It's magic. The stars desert the skies and rush to nestle in your eyes. It's magic. Without her golden wand or mystic charm, fantastic things begin when I am in your arms. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. Isn't that a pretty song? Dr. Jeff. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. That's from my Aunt Rose. Thank you very much. Another great Tony Bennett song that was originally written in Paris, France, redone in English for Tony Bennett, who had a huge hit on it. Check it out. Well, the good life, full of fun, seems to be the ideal. Oh yes, the good life lets you hide all the sadness you feel. You won't really fall in love, for you can't tell chance. So be honest with yourself. Don't try to fake romance. Well, a good life to be free and explore the unknown. Like the heartache when you learn you must face them alone. Please remember, I still love you. And in case you wonder why, well, just wake up, kiss that good life goodbye. Oh yes, the good life. Yes, sir. Well, the good life to be free and explore the unknown. Like the heartache when you learn you must face them alone. Please remember, I still love you. And in case you wonder why, wake up and kiss the good life goodbye. Yeah. Fantastic. That is fun, man, right? Man, you know, the thing about Tony Bennett, he had a high voice. It was much higher than Frank Sinatra and all those guys. And all the way up to the end, it was super, super powerful, super strong. And I'm dying up here. Al Pacino, I'm dying over here. It's difficult, man. It's difficult to sing like that. And this is good for me. This will teach me to warm up, to not drink so much scotch, and not have cigars before I play. But I did see Tony Bennett twice in my life. I saw him perform live. Anybody seen him perform live? Yeah? I'm sorry, I can't see out there because these lights are in my eyes, but it looks like a few of you seen him live. And man, what a show he would put on. I saw him right before COVID hit at Atlanta Symphony Hall, and I think he was 91 years old. And I saw him in a packed house at Atlanta Symphony Hall, and he came out and he did like an hour and 25 minutes, no, maybe an hour and a half, just straight dancing and singing. Never forgot any of the music. All the lyrics were there. You saw the Lady Gaga special, where even though he was dealing with Alzheimer's, he came right out of his shell. He remembers all those lyrics and just kills it, right? And he's just incredible. And at one point during the show, he told the crowd that when he was growing up, when he was coming up back in the like the 1930s, right? Once again, Neil, you remember like. It's not nice. He can't hear me. Don't worry. What a jerk I am. Neil Starkey on the bass. Gotta give it up for Neil. Tony Bennett told the crowd that when he was coming up back in the day, they didn't have monitors. They didn't have speakers. They didn't have microphones sometimes. They did not have in-ear monitors. They had no auto-tune to make you sound good if you suck, right? They had none of that. You just had to learn how to project, and you had to learn how to sing, and you had to learn how to breathe a certain way. I think they call it bel canto style breathing, right? You fill up your back, and you fill in and you really, and trumpet players did it too back then. Harry James, Doc Severinsen, they all learned how to play like that, where they really projected. Tony Bennett said that sometimes they would pretend that there was a candle in the back of the hall, and that they were trying to blow the candle out as they were singing or playing the instrument, so that they would project. Now we can just get real close to the mic, you know. My funny Valentine. But then they had to really do it. So he had them turn off the sound system at Atlanta Symphony Hall, and he sang a cappella with no amplification and filled that room at 91 years old. And I was with my wife, and I heard him do it, and I said to her, I'm going to learn how to do that. And she said, no, you're not. But then COVID happened, and I had 2 years or whatever it was, a year and a half, no gigs, no nothing. I just sat at home and I worked on it. Can I try it for you, what Tony did? I don't know if I can do this tonight. I'm going to give it a shot. Can I get an A, guys?
Rise, guys. All right, first time I tried this, my father was in the crowd, and I sang the first note, and he yelled out, "Can't hear you." Let's go, Jim. All right. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, Maria, kiss me. If it's okay with Larry. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship. All right, check it out.
Go ahead.
And all in other words, you know the song? Please be true. In other words, I love you.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, won't you kiss me? Sing with me now. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all that I worship and adore. In other words, won't you please be true? In other words, well, in other words, oh, in other words, we love you. Give it up for my band, ladies and gentlemen. Are you having a good time? You want to hear one more song? Is that cool? We do one more for you? What was Tony Bennett's biggest hit? I left my heart, as Dean Martin would say, in San Francisco. Back in the mid-1950s, two songwriters ran into Ralph Sharon, Tony Bennett's piano player, in a bar after a Tony Bennett show, and they gave him some music that they wrote, hoping he would give it to Tony Bennett. And he just put it in his drawer when he got home and never thought anything about it. It's a true story. And about 5 years later, Tony was heading to San Francisco to open the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. A big gig for him. It was the first time he was going there. And Ralph Sharon, as he was packing, at the bottom of his shirts in his drawer, he saw this song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And he said, hey, that might be a decent song, we'll see. So he brought it with him, and at rehearsal he said, Tony, this guy gave me this 4 or 5 years ago. You know, I forgot about it, but you want to see if it's any good? Tony said, yeah, let's try it. So they did it at rehearsal. Tony said, I love it. We're doing it tonight. And they did it that night, and instantly it became a hit. Instantly, he recorded it like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they went in and recorded it. And Tony, who was a soldier and fought in the war, loved to tell the story of how moving it was when Vietnam happened. A lot of the soldiers left port in San Francisco. And one time in the newspaper, Tony read, you could see all the soldiers, and they were sitting around, and they were singing, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And it made Tony cry, and it really gave him some inspiration, you know, because God, he sang the hell out of that. That was his signature song. So one of the greatest songs that almost never was, right? If Ralph would have decided to not pack his shirts like Jeff buys shirts wherever we go. Very wealthy. These are cheap shirts. So we want to do this one to finish up for you, but we might need your help singing some of this because we'd love for you to be a part of it with us. We'll start it out and you'll see. Such a great tune. I left my heart in San Francisco. High on a hill, it calls to me. Just to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog will chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there. In San Francisco, above the cool and windy sea, when I come home to you, my sweet San Francisco, your golden sun will shine on me. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jeff Hayden. All right, sing with me now, ready? My love waits there in San Francisco, above the cool and windy sea, when I come home to you, San Francisco. Sing for Tony Bennett. Your golden sun will shine on me. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you had a good time tonight. One more time for Dr. Jeff, Neil Starkey, Glenn Jammin Johnson. My name's Joe Gransden. We appreciate you very much.
Like
remember I still love you. And in case you wonder why, well, just wake up and kiss the good life goodbye.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So I was having a conversation up here. Did you all want to hear one more song? Wow. Now, I've known Joe for a while. He's cheap, but he's not easy. So you have to let out some noise for him to do another song.
All right, talked us into it. Hey, by the way, if you still have a CD player, we got the CDs back there for sale. We got vinyl records. It's not even all my stuff. I buy it at the Book Nook. There's some Lionel Richie in there, some Britney Spears. This is Michelle Legrand, Alan Bergman, Marilyn Bergman. Tony Bennett had a big hit on this in the 1980s. He did it for the rest of his career. And when he recorded his duet album, his special guest on this song was the one and only Aretha Franklin. How do you keep the music playing? How do you make it last? How do you keep a song from fading too fast? How do you lose yourself to someone and never lose your way? How do you not run out of new things to say? And since we know we're always changing, why should it stay the same? And tell me how year after year you're sure your heart will fall apart each time you hear her name. Well, I know the way I feel for you, it's now or never. The more I love, the more I'm afraid. And in your eyes I may not see forever. If we can be the best of lovers, yet be the best of friends. If we can try day after day to make it better as it grows, with any luck, then I suppose the music, the music, much, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Joe, I have a surprise for you. A little bit of a surprise.
What's that?
Yeah, you have a look on your face.
I have a surprise coming?
No, you do. You do, yeah. So, did you guys know that it was kind of by accident that Joe started singing? Yeah. He was in a little instrumental group in the corner of an Italian restaurant, and the singer didn't show up. You know how flaky singers can be.
Oh, yeah.
The great Lori Williams sitting over there. Yes, she is. So, they asked him if he'd take over, and he did. And history was made. But another piece of your history was high school. And there's a lady here who's been waiting for you to sign her high school yearbook all these years. You gotta show that picture. You gotta show the picture.
I gotta get a pen. Oh, you had just had
To my first love.
What year is this?
1989. 35 years ago.
35 years old? Oh, wow. Children. Williamsville North High School, Buffalo. You know, I was just there last week, or 2 weeks ago. I was in Buffalo. I was in Niagara Falls, and then I was in Buffalo. And I went to the school. I drove by my old house. It was awesome, man.
We rode the bus together. Yeah. Stonemark.
Oh, Stalmark. Took me a minute.
Greg, take a picture.
I drove by Eric Stalmark's house too, man. Wow. Come on up here, man. Come
Greg,
take a
come on,
picture.
take a picture.
All right, so while you guys are reminiscing, let me just thank you so much for coming. We loved having you. We would love to have you again. You can find all of our upcoming shows at thevelvetnote.com. On behalf of JB and Sheila and Natalia and Will and Justin and Trey and Chef Michael Strollo, this is what we love to do, which is to bring you closer to artists who inspire you, closer to each other, and closer to the song that's in your heart.